The hype surrounding Victor Wembanyama has been overwhelming, to say the least. The expectations for the number 1 overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft have bordered on unfair. Reality began for Victor in his NBA Summer League debut with the Spurs at the sold-out Thomas and Mack Center. Victor Wembanyama's NBA Summer League could be judged in 2 ways, depending on which game someone watched. His first Summer League game didn't go as well as anticipated when he scored just 9 points or 2 for 13 shooting from the field. He bounced back in his final game, dropping 27 points and 12 rebounds. Victor's Summer League run is over after 2 games as the San Antonio Spurs decided to give him some time off. Following his initial incursion into the league, the number 1 overall draft pick reflected on the difference between his early NBA experience and playing in France. It's pretty common for players that come from Europe to make those type of comments. Dallas Mavericks star Luka Doncic said it's easier to score in the NBA because of the rules. Portland Trail Blazers guard Damian Lillard agreed with Luka, adding that the FIBA game has fewer foul calls and is more physical. The faster, less physical style of play can benefit Victor early on as he works on his frame. The 7'4" center is reportedly listed at 210 pounds, making him prone to be pushed around by bigger players in the paint. The NBA is often credited for its talent and athleticism across the league. However, there are certain rules in the NBA compared to European basketball that results in a more of an open game. FIBA rules do not include a defensive 3-second violation, and the court is smaller by just over 2 feet compared to the NBA. The 3-point line in the NBA is also a little further back, creating more space to operate. These adjustments can be difficult to replicate until actually on the NBA floor, but Victor seemed to catch on to that as he bounced back in his second Summer League performance. Now, to piggyback off the expectations set for Victor Wembanyama, I think it's pretty unfair because we live in a social media hot take era. This era lives to criticize before giving praise. Let's take a look back at recent phenoms. They lose upon their arrival in the NBA because the worst teams are in position to draft them. The Cavaliers went 35-47 in LeBron's first season. The Pelicans went 30-42 in Zion Williamson's first season. It takes time to change that. Victor isn't joining a ready-made roster with the Spurs. San Antonio hasn't won more than 34 games in any of the past 4 years, which is what to be expected from a young rebuilding team. Victor is unlikely to make the playoffs as a rookie, although a lot of people think he will. Now back to the Summer League. Victor's first matchup was against the number 2 pick in the draft, Brandon Miller and his Charlotte Hornets. While Brandon put up 16 to lead all scorers, Victor scored just 9 points and pulled down 8 rebounds in over 27 minutes. He also shot 1 for 6 from behind the 3-point line. However, there were flashes of what could be as the big man blocked 5 shots, and that tantalizing potential continued to show through the second game with a big performance from Victor. The Spurs took on the number 3 pick Scoot Henderson, Portland Trail Blazers, although Scoot sat with a minor injury. Regardless, Victor dominated the game, and after those performances, the Spurs shut down Victor for the remainder of the 2023 NBA Summer League. Now here's the thing about these 7 feet and over players. They have never really held up over the course of a long NBA career. However, I do think Victor will be different. Watching Spurs Summer League, you can potentially see the type of players that are going to give Victor problems. The 6'7" to 6'10", 250 plus pound forwards can muscle the Spurs big man, throw a hip into him and cut him off at the knees. Players like Draymond Green, PJ Tucker, and the Morris twins, despite being undersized, could potentially be a problem for Victor. Another component to take note of is the way Victor plays leave him more open to injuries than other players his size. Big men at 7'2" plus have always played with their back to the basket, point focus games. What makes Victor so special is that he is a perimeter player at his size. That also means he drives to the basket way more than any other player his size ever has, and that could genuinely be a recipe for injuries right there. In conclusion, what 2023 NBA Summer League showed us is that Victor has the potential to change the game. What it didn't show us is over the course of just 2 games is how Victor will hold up over the taxing 82-game NBA schedule. but I think Victor would be just fine. And I hope I'm right, because he has the potential to bring a lot of excitement to the game. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. If you're interested in this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. See you next video.